Amendment 745, the clerk will read.
On page 11,
Last
after line
line.
7, internal references accordingly and correct the title.
The gentleman from the 19th District, Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move 745.
It has been moved and seconded that Amendment 745 be adopted. Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The issue of the Department of Commerce's policy of giving preference to low or no barrier housing in its distribution of grants and other monies to homeless housing projects remains a hot button issue in my district. And I think it should be for the entire state. This is a bureaucratic policy that puts one type of homeless shelter ahead of other types of homeless shelter in our prioritization of our state's resources to help the homeless find shelter. And it really doesn't stand to much scrutiny why we do this, why we put one model ahead of the other models. The academic research on the subject is inconclusive. There are some emotional appeals that somehow this helps one group or another, particularly veterans, for example. But there's really little scientific evidence that it does that. And what we ought to do in the use of our public money in this worthy end is treat all options of homeless housing models equally. What this amendment does is it instructs the Department of Commerce to do just that. Not to give a preference to one model or the other, but to treat all housing models the same when it comes to receiving our state funds. I think this is good public policy. I think this leads to the best outcomes, and it will give us, in time, the best informed information over what the best model or models are for helping the homeless. I ask for a yes vote in the interest of good public policy.
The lady from the 38th District, Representative Robinson.